Okay, good morning, good morning. Today's date's November the 24th, 2025. It's 9 a.m. Welcome, everyone. If you'll please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Commissioner Williams, will you lead us into prayer, please?
Yes. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day that you have bestowed upon us. Thank you for the rain that you have put in Mills County. Father, be with us as we do the business of Mills County. Direct and guide us at your pleasure. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. And Ms. Joy, will you see the thing signing sheets up there in a second? Yeah, maybe a couple. Okay, number 2, review and act on minutes of November the 10th, 17th, and 17th. We had 2 meetings that day, workshop. Everybody go through those minutes. Okay, sure. Those 2 right there. Yes, okay, got it.
There's a third person on the way.
Okay,
I don't know if you can wait to discuss abatement until that line.
well, it's coming up pretty quick. We'll always, they can come back in or whatever. We got it. Quick, keep moving. Okay. So right now we're reviewing on the minutes from the 3 meetings and workshop we had.
Make the motion to accept my group.
Okay, the motion's been made by Commissioner Head to accept the minutes, second by Commissioner Sullivan. All those in favor of approving the minutes from those dates I've stated, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it unanimously. Let's move accounts payables up next, before we do the audience individual. So let's, do number 4 is gonna be a number 3. So consider an act on approving accounts payables. Commissioners, you go through your package on our accounts payables.
Dale, I've got one question. You know, we're sharing this one. I don't remember what it was for, but I signed it. Can you read that? Summer sent it to me. It's Stephenville, 70. It's
Burns.
but I thought that was on last payables. This one's a $45 and $34. We shared something on last payables.
Address.
Cause it's $80 a piece, so
Yeah,
divided, so that's 160, so
Okay.
would that be the bearings?
Yeah. That's weird though, it's not on mine.
Yeah, it is, right there, isn't that 70 and $80?
And that says Carl's,
That's what I'm saying, it's Carl's.
that says Graham Street,
I know,
that's not.
I'm trying to figure it out.
That should be the bearing, but it's not on here. This was, belts and I got some, refrigerator. Cloud charge that air conditioner.
So this receipt is not.
That's already.
This is the one that we've already done,
Yeah.
correct?
Okay, yeah. This is from Carl, it's R134 and belts. That's for Kelsey.
Sorry, Judge, thank you, Judge.
Okay, anything else, commissioners? Any other questions or discussion?
I was just double checking on that because I saw Robert had some stuff from Carl's and I was like, well, how was that? So I was thinking it might have been,
Thank you, Jordan.
the whole precinct.
Yeah.
So, I make a motion that we approve the payables as presented.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Williams to approve the accounts payables. Second by Commissioner Head. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving the accounts payable, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Robert, second time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ayes have it. Okay, we switched the payables up front. Now we got audience individuals, and this all gonna pertain to, good morning, Mr. Bill Pentak. I know you're on, and Jeff Allen, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, you're coming up. I think that change in your spot helped. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, really good. So yeah, this should work well.
Good, Mr. Pentak, can you hear us okay? You're muted right now. It's all right. Jeff, quick question. So we got.
Yes, I can. I heard you. Thank you so much.
Coming in. Yes, sir. Good morning. Mr. Allen, we got audience individuals. I think most of these people are here to talk at the public hearing. Is that the proper procedure? Just go into the public hearing? These individuals all want to talk about solar.
Yes, yeah. If that's the next agenda item, you'd open the public hearing, allow them to give input to the commissioners before they consider the investment zone.
Repeat one more time. I had a little trouble understanding that.
Yes, if you'd open the public hearing and allow them to speak, to allow the commissioners to get their input with respect to the reinvestment zone.
Okay, and I'm looking at the people to speak. It's all regarding solar. So I do not see anyone here to speak. It's just a regular public hearing. So we will move on to number 5. And to go in the public hearing, we have to close Commissioner's Court out. And I'll make a motion, we close Commissioner's Court out to go in the public hearing regarding the designation of the reinvestment zone. Second's been made by Commissioner Sullivan. All those in favor of going to the public hearing for the reinvestment zone, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. So we are now convening in the public hearing. The time is 9:07 a.m. And this is regarding the reinvestment zone. And I don't know which order you folks want to talk, but Mr. Terry Smith, I'll recognize you first. You want to come up and speak regarding on the solar farm. Terry, will come up the microphone. I guess it's on Commissioner Williams.
I do not know. I don't know if it's turned on or not.
Okay, and let us know if it's not working. We want to hear your voice.
I'll speak loud.
And Annette, you'll let me know if you can't hear Mr. Smith, I guess.
Just have a few questions for you, and all, and you've already answered them or whatever, but, things maybe think about. One is, y'all build this abatement, y'all grant it, are you locking yourselves in giving these to other projects that come up later on, the solar farm possibly, battery facilities? Now data centers are coming on the state everywhere. And are we concerned that if we don't grant them the same abatements, that the county's gonna get sued, which I know that's what we talked about in the wind turbines around, is you, once you give abatements, then you're kind of locked in to give an abatement to anybody else that comes in. Other question I got is, where is the water coming from for the solar farm? Some of them use it quite a bit, some don't use it much, what they say is an area that there's not very much underground water. Got the John Bio there though, and I hate to see the John Bio try to go to the solar farm. Another thing I asked, have y'all visited other solar farms? Probably. Have you visited other solar farms to see what 3,500 acres, 3,700 acres of solar farm looks like? If you haven't, you go up south to Santiago, Brown County, and there I believe that was maybe 2,500 acres of solar farms. And, you know, drive by that house yourself, but I like to live close to it, adjacent to it. I think that's what we all actually said. The impact that this going to have on adjacent property, on the video is going to have an impact on anybody in that area. And I question, if they'll do grant this, is this going to enable property taxes in the county property taxes to either go down or stay the same? We kind of told that when we got the wind turbines in there, it's going to make a big difference. It doesn't seem to be there with a real big difference for the actually done, we can continue to go back to that. But anyhow, that's just my questions for you, thanks, think about.
Terry, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Mr. Essie, you want to go next, sir? Mr. Scotterson? Okay, Miss Karen, good morning. And, when you speak directly in the microphone, we're having trouble.
Hello,
Hold it a second. So,
I'll speak loud. I can't-
Annette, do a test. Can you,
It's on, this is on.
yeah,
What's the battery count?
hang on one second, folks. We've got possible battery issues.
Only reason we're saying that, we know we can hear y'all in here, but you can't pick it up on the.
On YouTube, yeah. Yeah, we can hear you fine, but, we got people that are listening elsewhere.
Yeah,
We got-
battery backup issues.
Battery backup system.
Testing. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Ed, can you hear,
Can you turn it?
second, Ed's texting me again.
It's all the way up. It's fine.
And Joy, you might put your, Ned just suggested you might put your microphone over there. Might could hear them better. Will your microphone reach? We'll try that.
Test.
Yeah. Try that. Okay, Ned, we're moving Joy's microphone over there. Okay,
Hello?
see if that's better. All right, Miss Karen, good morning. How are you today?
Hey, good morning. My name is Karen Weston Francis, and I own property next to where the planned Exelio solar farm will go in at County Road
Test.
49. I've had the opportunity to visit with y'all several times. I sincerely appreciate this opportunity again. I was present in last week's meeting, and there was a lot of discussion about numbers, percentages, proposed to possibly give to the newly created Blue Heron LLC, which will be across the bio. I just wanted to speak a little bit about the County Attorney Bill Malone's comments. I just feel like there are too many unknowns at this point in time. I know the solar company has proposed a 50% abatement. The depreciation percentages, I felt, actually from y'all that there was some uncertainty about the depreciation percentages and the actual revenue that would come in with a 50% abatement, without a 50% abatement. And I would just ask you to please consider narrowing your thoughts down to a couple of scenarios, whether it's a partial pilot or a partial abatement. And again, I'm opposed to anything, to giving anything at all to the solar farms. I think they should be put on the tax rolls like everyone else and pay that fair share of taxes. But I would just ask you to consider to narrow it down to a couple of scenarios and have an independent third-party accountant, CPA, calculate those numbers for you with those couple of scenarios, and also have that CPA validate Blue Heron's numbers that they've put into their abatement application that they're asking you to believe. Just validate those numbers, know what their assumptions are. That's my request for you today, and I appreciate your time.
Karen, thank you for your comments. And Ms. Ressa, you're good on everything?
I'll take it.
Do you want to come speak right now, or?
Yes.
Is there anyone?
No, you're the only one. If you want to come up and speak, we'd like to hear your comments, sir. You signed up. Good morning, Mr. Essie. How are you today?
Good morning.
You got,
Old and stiff. but
you got some good rain, so y'all be happy.
Frank, we're gonna make it. This is.
Yes, that's the microphone there. Yeah, don't worry about the other one. Yeah.
All right, good, good.
It'll
morning.
pick you up.
It'll pick up good. Yes, pick up for
Good
good.
morning, Court. I don't want to take up much of your time. I don't want to beleaguer anything that's already been discussed. But I've been taking notes on the Childress Solar Farm project since Charles Childress, our neighbor, informed me this was going to happen over a year ago. And Charles and I are great neighbors. I represent a limited partnership that owns a ranch north of Mr. Childress. This butts up against our fence. Okay. Considerations, and again, I've condensed many, many pages of notes. Just do a couple of quick bullet points that I think are worthy to consider. And the reason I've chosen these as bullet points is because no matter what the energy sector, no matter what the company or corporation that I've had to, or my family's had to deal with in the past, no matter whether it's oil, gas, coal, uranium, okay, encore, all of this, it's all the same. Come up with the same truth. One, I keep hearing that that this project isn't going to start, isn't going to kick off until the commissioners vote on the abatement. The project kicked off October 14th. Construction began October 14th. I'm not sure you're all aware of that. I crawled up in the tower and watched it start. I have the video. First major category, environmental. Our two main concerns, number one, are lotus waters of the United States. I hope that the courts have researched this impact well and all that, everything that spiders out from the and being on a lotus watershed, the bottom. The other thing under environmental that was kind of all over my notes was reclamation and refurbishment. Okay. Who handles this? Okay. Who handles the uh-ohs, the hiccups, and who cleans it up when they're gone? Okay. Who cleans it up after a major storm that rips through it? Of course, with a battery facility, that adds a whole other, that adds a whole other sidewalk, even more so than just the panels themselves. Category 2, taxation. Like others that have spoken today and before, I'm concerned about one, us doing something that the Texas legislature is considering outlawing, period, right now as we speak. And two, the offset. Okay. Whatever, abatement they don't do Blue Heron, which is a smokescreen company. It's not who's behind it all, which I'll get to in a minute, but where are those, where's the offset going to be made? Is it going to land on the property taxes of the land I'm managing? For the corporation that I run it for? At the same time, those land values are taking a hit. There's a solar farm next door. Or again, where's the offset? Where's everything else going to get dumped to? It's not going to disappear. It's just going to get offset to somebody else. When I hired a guy to trace this upstream, it appears from his research that the corporation behind all this, both sides of the river, is and y'all are probably aware of this, if you've sniffed through it and get past the superficial LLCs, this all tails back to a corporation called Abatement in Maryland, Minnesota. And then the last bullet I had was the personal one. I've been involved in that ranch out there at Elkins since 2011, 2012. It's the only place I've been in my life, and I grew up in some remote country in South Texas, but where the peace and quiet was deafening. Almost impossible to hunt because the animals weren't used to hearing any noise. You couldn't do anything. Couldn't even click your light. You know, you're blown. Well, that's gone. Starting on October 14th when those machines broke. Right. There's no more of that. Traffic. Jason, as I'm sure you're tracking on your road. And of course, the tie to Encore. That ranch out there, and we have Encore right away going through. We have had a lot of trouble with Encore in the past. Of course, Encore is tied to condemnation. And so knowing what's going to happen, knowing the solar farm has to have Encore, which Mr. Childress gave them the right to, connect, then condemnation automatically gets brought into this conversation, whether we like to or not. And so I consulted with a condemnation attorney in San Antonio, Texas, who's represented us before. And he said, yeah, that goes with the deal. He said, so yeah, you're opening yourself up to condemnation. And then the only other bullet I had wasn't a category. It's kind of all encompassing, but it's its own thing. I had somebody, and this was not related to the children's. This came in from an investment team, okay? I had a gentleman several weeks ago approach me and said, well, I see that y'all are getting the solar farm in Western Mills County. He said, are you aware of the connections between those and the artificial intelligence centers that Texas has been awarded all the contract on by the feds recently? I was like, what? I'm a rancher. I'm a retired therapist. What are you talking about? Well, he said, so far, not very far into building the 11 that the contracts were awarded, and Texas got it all. Nobody else got it. That every single AI center that's being built is paired with a solar. That's how they're going to. That's how they're going to up. So they'll take the hit on overwhelming and already Texas. So I thank you for the time.
Scott, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. And we had some other individual, Ms. Weston, since your other individual to speak. Good morning. You came just in the nick of time. Hang loose, folks. We got a lady that wants to speak on the solar public hearing that just walked in the door.
Morning.
Good morning. How are you doing? Or you you gotta take your cap off in the court's only rule we got. Good morning. If you'll state your name and we'll give you 5 minutes.
Okay, Mike Crawford.
Mike, good morning. We're doing the public hearing right now on the solar farm, so
Okay.
go ahead.
Good. Well, I don't know why you would want to have an abatement, tax abatement with a company that has changed its name and is just a startup. That just doesn't make sense to me that, you guys are smart guys and why you want to do that. Okay. I mean, I just, started a company 5 years ago, local cuts meat company there in Zephyr, Texas. And, I didn't get a tax abatement. Okay. And I employ over 40 people. So, I'm definitely helping the community. I think we've got like you know, 8, 10 employees that are in Mills County, so it just doesn't make sense to me why we have any sort of tax abatement with a company that is just a small company and geez, you know, Encore, you guys have already had issues with Encore. It was a very large company, and we're being challenged, or they're challenging, based on the taxes that they are supposed to be paying, so I don't know why we would want to have any sort of tax abatement at all. So, those are my thoughts.
Okay, Mr. Crawford, thank you for coming.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for your comments. And I don't see anyone else in here that's going to be speaking on behalf of the public hearing on regarding solar farm. So I'll make a motion, we close the public hearing regarding solar farms. A second's been made, motion by me, second by Commissioner Head. All those in favor of closing the public hearing, say aye. Aye. The time is 9:26 a.m. Joy, and I'll make a motion that we reconvene back into Commissioner's Court at 9:26 a.m. Second, I made the motion, second by Commissioner Sullivan. So we are now back in Commissioner's Court hearing meetings. So number 6 is consider an act on reinvestment zone and related matters. And commissioners, as you can see, or you can see on the wall, we've got Mr. Bill Pintack of Blue Heron, Red River. Good morning, Bill, again, and Mr. Jeff Allen, who's been our attorney, helping us through all this legal stuff that we have to do. So I'll start off, and Jeff, you can hop in anytime if I make any boo-boos or anything. So we're considering an act on reinvestment zone regarding the proposed solar farm. Now, if this does pass, then we have to decide if we're going to go do what the percentage of the abatement might be, and also whether or not to do a pilot program. So even though this might pass or may not pass, if it passes, it still may not mean anything's going to happen. We don't know. We're still going through the process, and there's legal steps to go through. Jeff, I'll start off, give my little spiel, then you please chime in, and Mr. Pintack, if you have something you want to chime into, we welcome your thoughts. So I've mentioned this before. Everybody knows how I feel. I'm not for any abatement. I've called numerous judges, and I got a new updated list on these judges around us elsewhere. Franklin County Judge Scott Lee talked to last week, Mount Vernon. They're not doing any future abatements law projects. Eastland County Judge Holland, no future abatements. My good friend Judge Bledsoe, Coleman County, no future abatements. McCullough County, Frank Truill, no abatements. Burnett County Judge Wilson, no abatements. Comanche County next door to us, Judge Davis, no abatements. Very good friend of mine, Judge Eddie Reese in Van Zandt County, where Canton is. They have 4 proposed solar farms, 8 battery energy storage systems, 1 wind farm, 1 lithium mining. Not doing any abatements for those. Taylor County Judge Crowley, no future abatements. And Brown County Judge Shane Britton, who I've talked to numerous times, Brooksmith Solar Farm was put in about 2 years ago, 3,000 acres, no abatements were given to that. And on this proposed Red River, that's going to be 100 acres in Brown County. There's no talk with them that he's told me, and definitely no future abatements on that. Mr. Allen, do you need to prep for things up what we're about to do next?
No, just the one point for the commissioners to be aware of, as you're considering creating the reinvestment zone, the ultimate finding that you would need to make if you choose to create the reinvestment zone would be you would need to, pursuant to the tax code, which you've already completed the public hearing, you would need to make the finding that the solar project would contribute to the retention or expansion of primary employment or would attract major investment into the zone. That's kind of the decision that y'all are making now in conjunction with whether you wanted to go through with it. And that's all in the Commissioner Court's discretion. So that was the only statement that I had.
I was having trouble hearing some of that. Did y'all hear all that? Most of it. Well, just correct us or correct me if I make a boo-boo. How about that, Jeff? Can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can hear y'all very well.
Okay, Mr. Pintack, good morning. Welcome. Your comments, anything that you have to add or say?
Well, Judge, I appreciate this opportunity to appear before the court. It's always an honor to do that. And I want you to know I certainly respect your opinions on this, and you've been very upfront with me on it, and I think with everyone, and we've been upfront and back. I would just say that in terms of the number of counties that aren't granting abatements, I counted up 23 counties that are, and I think there's a lot more if you go to the Texas Comptroller site. There's a spreadsheet that you can download that has a ton, show you the counties that have been granted or have granted abatements or pilots. And of course, if they're pilots, it's kind of harder to see on that. But so there are a lot of counties that do. I would also say that, remind the court that where Brown County is concerned, they did not grant a 312 abatement for the solar farm, but the school district granted a 313 abatement, which was available at the time. And that 313 abatement was far bigger than any abatement they would have gotten from the county. Well, those have gone away because of our state legislature. I would also say that Brown County has, they have 3M there. I believe they have Kohler there. They have two companies there that each has about 1 million square foot of manufacturing space. So Brown County is in a different position. It has a lot of big taxpayers that are already in the county. So I would remind everyone that even with the abatement, that Mills County will get at least $17.4 million in tax revenues from this project. Mullen ISD will receive almost $19 million, and that is the revenue that they're able to keep. So that is the M&O portion. It doesn't include the INS portion of that. On top of that, I just wanted to put this out there. If you'll allow, there are 3 years worth of rollback. So when an ag exemption goes away, the taxes have to be paid going back 3 years as if there was no ag exemption. And so that means that Mills County will receive, in addition to its first year of taxes, would also receive a one-time payment of $162,000. That would not include almost $33,000 for the road and bridge fund. So that's about $190,000 together. And so I will guarantee you this project will be paying a lot of revenues into Mills County, and we're asking for a little bit of help to bring $250 million project to the county that nobody is going to see, no one's going to hear. And would also remind them that we're also going to be removing the unexploded ordnance at a great cost out to that land. So I could say more, but I won't. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. And for the record and for the public, Red River Blue Heron is asking for a 50% abatement. That's what was proposed. So, Mr. Allen, anything you need to add right now? And then we'll turn over to the commissioners.
No, I believe it's appropriate to turn it over to the commissioners.
Yeah, can I just say this?
Yes.
That's correct. That's just for the equipment, but we'll be paying 100% on the land, which because of the ag exemption going away, that'll go from like $9,000 to $150,000. So the effective abatement's about 34%. Thank you.
And Mr. Allen, I'm still having a little trouble hearing you. It's better than last time, so I don't know if you have a separate microphone or what. Maybe I'm just hard of hearing. I don't know. But you can hear us okay, right, Mr. Allen?
Yes, I can hear y'all really well.
Okay. Commissioners, I'll turn over y'all's comments, discussion.
I've got one comment or question, I guess, for Mr. Pentak. Why the name change?
Did you hear what he said? He asked why the name changed from Red River to Blue Heron LLC.
Yeah, it didn't go that way. It was actually the other way around. So I believe the project was originally named Blue Heron. There's no smoke and mirrors about that whatsoever. When a project developer is creating a project, they have to call it something. And so they pull a name out. And so then, they decided that they wanted to call the project something that had to do with the area. That's very standard to do in the industry. You name the project after a creek or something, or an area. And in this case, one of the things that they learned was that there was a flower in the county I'm not sure how you say this, whether it's Chisme or Chisme, it's Chisme. I've heard it pronounced both ways, and they decided that they wanted to name the project after that. It also shows their commitment to the environment. So there was no smoke and mirrors to this. It was a very simple thing. And in fact, I would have loved to have seen Chisme in the posting in the newspaper so people knew that it wasn't, another solar project that's trying to move into the area. But I understand why you did that. I'm sure it was a legal issue that was the legal name, but there is nothing to it.
Mr. Pentak, I got a question. So it's brought up, you've already started, or what's the status? One time you gave us some scenarios that you're gonna start in summer of 26, I believe. So.
Yeah, no, yes, sir. I heard one of the persons, construction has not started on the site. You can't start construction on a site that has unexploded ordnance in it. So I'm not sure where that came from. I do know that the consultants, Red River has gone out and hired some of the top explosive ordnance experts in the country. And I know that they're out there trying to identify where the unexploded ordnance is, but construction has not started. It will not start until after financing is obtained.
And it's planning to be summer of 26. Is that still the tentative schedule?
Well, or it may be the first quarter, if they can. It just depends on how things go, with the project. But it will not. They're right now, the next hurdle is financing.
Okay. Mr. Allen, anything you need to add before we start discussing with commissioners and everybody?
No, I don't have anything to add.
Okay, commissioners, comments, questions?
So we're gonna vote on reinvestment zone only, correct? And that's the area. Is that right, Mr. Allen?
Yes, you would just be voting on creating the reinvestment zone, which would allow you to negotiate an abatement within that zone. This would not bind you to granting an abatement. It would just create the zone within which the abatement could be created.
Do you understand that? We're
Yeah.
just voting on the.
Just reinvestment zone.
Not the abatement. This vote has nothing to do with the abatement.
Yes, yes. This is the first step going down the road. Comments, commissioners? None. Okay,
I make a motion that we accept the reinvestment zone that was submitted by Blue Herring application for this project.
okay. Motion's been made by Commissioner Williams to approve the reinvestment zone for Blue Heron, Red River. Any other discussion?
Question,
Yes, question?
what was their boundaries, just the property that they're?
That's listed, I guess that's what you'd ask Mr. Allen.
Mr. Allen, could you hear that?
Yes, they would be the property that was submitted in the abatement or in the application is what we use to describe the boundaries of the reinvestment zone. It's narrowly tailored around their project.
The application had all the meets and bounds there, yes.
Okay. I second it.
Okay, the motion's been made by Commissioner Williams, the second by Commissioner Parton. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor of approving the reinvestment zone, say aye. All those opposed? So that was 3 in favor, 2 against, correct? So the reinvestment zone passes.
Who was against? I'm sorry.
Myself and Commissioner Head.
Okay,
The ones in favor, Commissioner, Williams.
that's
Parton,
fine. I just
and
didn't.
Sullivan.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't see this.
Okay, the reinvestment zone has passed. Now, number 7, discussion on tax abatement for Blue Heron Solar LLC. So, Mr. Allen, you want to chime in now since we've passed the reinvestment zone?
Yeah, and so the main thing that we wanted to kind of get some direction on as you discuss the abatement, of course, to approve the abatement and everything, there'll have to be a whole other set of postings and everything, and that's not what we're considering right now. What we're asking for is a direction that you would like to go in discussing with the company to the extent that you want to enter it. There's a couple options. We've discussed in our workshops the idea of having a pilot. There's some advantages to the pilot. In that it's a fixed amount, it won't impact. I know there's been some concern about depreciation and numbers and things like that, the pilot is a fixed number. So that's something that we would determine on the front end. The other option would be a fixed percentage abatement, which relies on the appraisal district every year to appraise the project independently, come up with what the taxes would be due, and then those are abated by the percentage that you agree on. The main direction that we're asking for right now is how you would like us to engage the company on that before we bring something for you to start actually considering the abatement.
Okay, I heard bits and pieces, Jeff, sorry how my hearing's going, but, so next two steps we gotta figure out is if there's abatement, what percent the abatement's gonna be, and secondly, whether or not we're gonna do a pilot program, correct?
No,
Yes.
what he was saying, you can either do a percentage abatement or we can do a pilot
Yes.
abatement.
Well,
So
yeah,
we need to
percentage,
decide which one of those directions we want to go.
Okay, and, we're now in discussion on tax abatement for blue heron and related matters, which covers all these matters. At one time, I had one of the commissioners suggested we need to do another workshop, which I'm all for. But again, I think those are two questions we gotta figure out, whether or not to do a pilot program for this company. And for those in public, I mean, it's payment in lieu of taxes, which would mean it'd be $0 on the tax roll. And it'd be a contractual basis would set up with this company. Correct, Mr. Allen?
Yes, that is correct.
So,
Their taxes on the land will still be on the tax roll.
Yes, the land will still be taxed. The abatement would be on the installation, the fixtures that they're putting, the solar panels, the infrastructure, those sorts of things. The county would still be taxing the underlying value of the land. And as was mentioned earlier, that would be subject to a rollback. So it would be at its full value and not at the agricultural value that it may be at right now.
well, I think we're all around the figures on any kind of a number because, and I think we really do need to do a workshop because I know the company's asking 50%. I've heard 36, I've heard 20. I'm for 0. So I think that may be the best way and we can discuss this right now, commissioners, on.
I thought we did that in last week's
We
workshop.
had a workshop,
I
trying
know.
to get this hashed out, we didn't get nothing.
I didn't get anything hashed out. Well, we're discussing right now tax abatement for blue heron. I'll state I'm for 0%. So, and I have issues again with that pilot program, which I've mentioned earlier. In case there is any bankruptcies, there's nothing, assets on the tax roll for the people like Kerry Pickering, the representatives to go after. I've talked to other attorneys have an issue with that. So that's my comments. Anyone else?
How many, I know that Mr. Allen sent us one that has filed bankruptcy, but is there more than one?
Yes, there's a Mr. Allen. You want to respond to that?
Yeah, I would need to look to find everyone. The one that I sent was just so you would be aware of how that happened, where they overextended themselves doing their own construction and those sorts of things. Historically there have been, where I have seen the projects go bankrupt, they haven't stopped operation. I think some of around 15, 20 years ago that happened fairly often with some of the wind projects. They continued operation through the bankruptcy process. It didn't impact them because they were picked up as an asset thereafter. But it's not, it happens. And I can find others for you if that's what y'all would like to look at as part of your due diligence in preparing this for you.
Commissioner, what type of abatement are y'all thinking about? I mean, do we have any figures that anybody's wanting to propose during our discussion? We're not taking a vote right now.
I would think on pilot somewhere around 20%, with them paying the fair market property taxes anyway.
Okay.
And I think you'll find out when the numbers all come in that the county is gonna benefit more from that than a 0% of non-abatement because of what Brown County has gotten into, where they start at 100% and in 10 years they're at 20%. And that's pretty well proven. So it's kind of whether you want a flat line or whether you want to start high and going low. Yeah.
And what Commissioner's part alluding to, if you don't have what he's proposing, then you get all this money in the year 1 through 5, and then there's big depreciation. And some counties may have gotten in trouble by spending too much money, lowering the tax rate too low. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but that's,
No, and it's more, the way I've looked at it, it's more like you're gonna benefit from no abatements year 1 through 3. And then year number 4, you're gonna be about even. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, you're gonna be way more. Because if we can get a contract that holds them into 8%, 8 times 10 is 80%, and they're gonna be at 20% in 10 years, so.
so now for the public and people listening, payment in lieu of taxes is known as a pilot program. So if we were to get in that contract, we get a set rate for 10 years, a constant rate. So that's one benefit of the pilot program.
There's 5 wind programs in Mills County, and that don't mean anything other than this is the only thing we have to base that on. The first 2, somebody was talking about the reinvestment zone. When they first came in, my understanding, I wasn't here, was that they made the whole county a reinvestment zone. But when they did that, yes, one company comes in, has to get the same thing as everybody else. Well, then a few years ago, when wind turbine number 3 company was coming in, they decided to do a reinvestment zone so that you could just put that area. And that's the reason I asked a while ago, is this only the land where Red River is gonna be? Because I don't want it stretching out to other parts of the county. I want it to be their acreage and their acreage only. And, but.
So it doesn't lock you in if somebody wanted to put one in,
Next to them.
Yeah.
Or something.
they're gonna have to get their own reinvestment zone.
And, but basically, I mean, I still, my place is a perfect example. We have wind turbines on one side of us, a subdivision on the other side, and we don't get a penny from any of it. So I feel everybody's pain, but, if you want to talk about lessening taxes, the expenditures in the county seem to be going up like everything else is. You've got 3 ways to do it. You either quit spending as much money, you raise taxes, or you accept in some stuff that you might not want. So.
And I thought is there 2 or 3 pilot programs? I thought
There's 2 pilot programs, but one of them would have been, but it's in the no-fly zone, so they have to pay their taxes.
So the first 3 wind turbine companies were set up on a 60% abatement first 5 years and 40% second 5?
Yeah, first 2.
First 2? Okay.
The flat top and the Invenergy were on about 60-40 abatements. Then we went to a pilot program on Castle Gap,
Been pretty wind.
Brady,
Yeah.
and one other one.
Okay. Okay. So, Mr. Allen, back to you again. Direction and comments?
You know, what I could do based off of kind of some of that direction, I can prepare some numbers in a proposed abatement agreement that y'all can look at as commissioners independently, to create some questions and maybe address some of the concerns that were raised in the hearing. I can get that to you and we can have a time later on to, discuss that. We can also present that to the company. Obviously, in presenting it, we aren't guaranteeing the vote. The discretion remains with the commissioner's court. But that would be something that I can provide you, some side by sides in the way those things work.
Oh, Mr. Allen, one thing I would like to get clarified is we've had an independent CPA look at this from Mills County. We've had you look at it, and we had Blue Herring, and all 3 of y'all's figures are a little bit different. All 3 of y'all's are depreciation rate is a little bit different. Is there any way that we could get a clear picture of how we're expected to do the depreciation rate?
Yes, I think we can. What we would do is we need to reach out to the appraisal district and see how they appraise these projects and the schedules that they use. We can do that. That will give us the figure that Mills County's Central Appraisal District will use. That's generally what I do to get that number. because it'll depend on the appraisers who is actually appraising that for the county when it goes on the tax rolls.
So the way I understand it is that our local appraisers will just do the land, but they don't necessarily do the project itself. That would come from, what is it, Pritchard and something, Joe?
Yeah, probably Pritchard and Abbott. Yeah, I can get those numbers from Pritchard and Abbott. I have some people over there that I can ask. I think they're pretty consistent county to county in the schedule that they use, but we could reach out to them and say, we're preparing this, we're looking at a pilot. Can you, let us know what you use in Mills County as your depreciation schedule for this type of project. That would be as close as we got.
Mr. Allen, I think that's just where a little bit of us are confused is on that depreciation rate, and it just, we go to different people and we get different terminologies. I mean, Robert went this week or last week and he was just like, he got lost because it was different rates and stuff. So doing our independent studies, we're just trying to get on the same ball page here.
Yeah, I understand. And I think that's how we all have different ones that we've used in different places. And that's why I think it will be best to talk to Pritchard and Abbott and see what is used or what they would plan to use if this project came onto the tax rolls in Mills County. How would they look at that year over year? I think they'll be pretty consistent with that and be able to give us a number that's going to be accurate. Otherwise, we'll have a range. They're all pretty close to each other. Some of that would be something that we would have to discuss is whether you would prefer it under a non-fixed abatement where it's based off of changing every year. But I think the best way to address that is to go directly to the Pritchard and Abbott, find that depreciation schedule, how they would do it, how they would anticipate that they are going to do it. And that will give us our most accurate amount or at least our most accurate schedule that we know, because it would be the most likely one to actually be used and presented to the appraisal district there in Mills County.
Okay, so you'd recommend I or someone contact Pritchard and Abbott regarding the depreciation schedule for a proposed solar farm of 265 million, correct? And Bill, that's still
Yes.
the current number we're looking at, buddy? 265 million?
I think it could be 267. I think it went up a little bit. I'll have to look and I will let you know.
Was it?
But
Okay.
At 265, it's either that or it's very close.
My mistake, 267, yes, okay.
I would let Mr. Allen take care of that.
Okay. Okay,
No,
yeah, that sounds good. Let Mr. Allen take care of it, yeah.
I can do that.
that I wonder too, and it's been thrown around, pitched around, the 8% per year, is there any way, because I've heard, particularly if you don't have them on the pilot, depending on the state controller's office, there's been years that they've been allowed as much as 20% in 1 year. So is there any way to get a contractual deal where they cannot exceed 8%?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the contract, and that the advantage of the pilot, with the pilot, we calculate it as the numbers that we have today. And that's fixed contractually. That would be the best way to do it, that if y'all choose to enter in a tax abatement, you go with a pilot, then that pilot number is the number that's paid regardless of whether they come in 3 years and is depreciated 20% at that point. We still have our abatement agreement that we're saying this is what you've agreed to pay. That is why the pilots have become so popular, is it does give you that modicum of control over knowing what's coming in the future when it's difficult to know otherwise.
The only question I have left, of course, this week is shot. As you know, we have time constraints on setting up future meetings. So I'm proposing Monday morning, commissioners, or does that work with y'all schedule December the 1st, the next commissioners court?
Oh, I didn't bring my calendar.
Well, December the 1st is Monday. I know everybody wants to move as fast as possible to consider an act on the tax abatement. And Mr. Allen, I'll talk to you about that. Would you be free Monday morning at 9, a week from today?
Yes, to talk about it. I mean, y'all wouldn't be able to act on it then. There's a 30-day notice requirement to act, but
30 days.
Or just
I don't know. I'm asking what you're asking for.
well, I was asking for go ahead and have a special commissioners court meeting December the 1st.
You have to do a 30-day and a public
30
hearing.
days, still got to do 30 days, Jill?
Yes, to actually consider to act on it, we would need to post 30 days. It's a standard, it's a standard posting requirements, except that it's 30 days instead of now the, whatever it is.
And when does that time start? When's that time clock start? Does it start today or does it start?
It's whenever we post it. It's posted. The way that I normally post tax abatement is we look at a scheduled meeting that's a month out, and we go ahead and we post an agenda with just that item, and then as it becomes closer, you add to the agenda as it is, but we would post for whatever regular meeting. It would have to be right after Christmas or something like that would be
I
the only
don't think
time.
happening before or after Christmas,
Or like right after the first of the year would be the ones that would be
Yeah,
eligible.
we need to make this posting in our local paper, and then once it's posted, we gotta wait at least 30 days before we consider an act on anything, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, it's a long requirement to allow everyone the opportunity to vet it and look at it and those sorts of things.
Commissioner, I don't know if we can get this done by the end of the year or not. Christmas is on the Thursday, the 25th.
What about the 29th, the 30th?
Monday before Christmas,
Monday after Christmas?
Monday after, is that the third?
Monday, we do the 29th.
29th, the 30th.
Okay.
We do it the 29th, if that's okay with the commissioners. We got a commissioners court meeting on December the 8th and the 22nd. And I don't have anything showing yet on the 29th, which is Monday, December 29th.
Either that or then you push it into January and
Yeah, okay.
and you could do it on the first regular scheduled
Yeah.
meeting in January, which will be the 12th.
Somebody's phone's going. So I don't care, whatever's best of y'all's schedules, what y'all want to do.
Anyone good for me?
What's that?
What, he said any date's good to
Good.
you. So say what you want to do again, Commissioner Williams, you said not do the 29th, or you want?
No, I just said that was the options. I was just saying you've got the 29th and 30th that we have work.
If it works for everybody, let's do it on the 29th.
Yeah, I'd say let's go ahead and do it, the 29th. So we'll have Mr. Allen, if you can get the paperwork to me, I need to post the paper, and we will have the next meeting regarding solar on December the 29th, Monday. Does that work with everybody's schedule?
But between then and there,
I think we did work.
Mr. Allen needs to be in conversation with Bill pretty regularly.
Yeah.
To get, because we're gonna have to have several.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll be talking about it and giving you updates on it in that time.
So we need to, we also need to have it on the agendas for the 8th and 15th as a discussion, Judge,
Okay.
I would think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate.
Abatement for the next two commissioner court meetings. Commissioner Head suggested a workshop. Commissioner Head, I'm open anytime. You talk about, of course, this week's too short. Talk about next week sometime for some kind of
Yeah,
workshop.
maybe what after Jeffrey gets our numbers.
Okay. Do we get the numbers first and decide on the workshop, or?
I think that would be
Well, then you need to probably wait till after we have Commissioners Court on the 8th or the 15th.
yeah.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
it'd be best if we had all the numbers.
Okay.
To have our final work.
Let's wait till after Commissioners Court on December the 8th, then we'll have a workshop sometime,
I think
okay?
that's good.
Okay. Commissioners, any other questions for Mr. Pentak or Mr. Allen? Well, gentlemen, thanks for coming, and we'll keep working on this matter. Everybody have a good week and happy Thanksgiving.
You as well. Look forward to talking to you soon.
And you as well, and thank you so much for your time and consideration for all parties involved, Mr. Allen. That includes you as well. We really appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr. Pentak. Have a good Thanksgiving.
All right, you too. God
Sound like
bless.
you told me. Thanks a lot. Okay, number 8, update status on FEMA public assistance grants and related matters. Mr. David Shaw, our EMC Emergency Management Coordinator, Mills County, and you've been very busy, I know, this week with the flooding around the state. It hadn't been as bad yet. Are we still talking about the Sinsappa River getting up this morning?
Yeah, I was looking at it earlier today to see what happens the rest of the day. I mean, we're just getting some good rain.
Yes, it's good, just so we don't get too much at one time.
All right, gentlemen, so I'm ready to get a bigger version of the document that we're all trying to see. So what I want to do real quick, I've got about 4 things I wanted to discuss. I know I've got limited time. The first thing I want to do is I want to look at the worksheet that I provided you guys. It's big enough now that we can kind of read it and talk about it, but I want to bring your attention to some of the changes that we're seeing at this point in time. You guys may recall that, early October, we had a meeting with our FEMA counterparts. We had some of the state folks on that call, and in the office, and then, treasurer's office and myself. One of the things we were having trouble doing with the FEMA staff was trying to deconflict a lot of the information that had been gathered at the initial phases of the damage. When they went out and did site inspections, some of the documentation, documents were lost or not found. Some of that information wasn't repeated in different projects, so we had to come up with a strategy to move forward to kind of deconflict these issues. And I think we came to agreement on that later on in October. So what you're seeing before you now, and you'll notice if you go to the far right-hand column, you'll see a bunch of zeros in there. One point in time, we had values that were placed in there. And those values represented basically our original estimated costs that the commissioners came up with when we created those estimated worksheets for FEMA. So what we've done, you'll notice, is between FEMA and ourselves and the state, we decided, look, we're gonna zero out those values. We're still gonna use the documentation that we provided, but what their proposal was, we moved a majority of those projects to a simplified approach of just going through and scoping the project and costing the project at FEMA, which is more of an expedited process than we've had to deal with in the past. And based on that, FEMA has now been able to, we finished up maybe last week. You'll notice all of those yellowish coded projects right there. Those are projects that are still currently being worked on at FEMA. If you go across that worksheet where it says process step, you'll now see that most all of the projects are in what we would call pending scope and cost routing. And then as you work your way down that column, you'll see that there's been pending awards where we've already received the awards and that money will soon be obligated. All of the ones where there are zeros, once FEMA sends us the new scoping of the project and the cost of the project, we get together and we look at those numbers. We try to see where we were from the estimated worksheet to now where FEMA's costing. So far, on most of the projects that they've submitted to us, we've been very close to the original estimated cost, right? So I suspect, I'm pessimistically optimistic that now that we've deconflicted a lot of these projects, we're going to start to see those funds be awarded quickly or quicker than normal. Right now, we're probably at about, I don't know, $1.1 million that has been awarded / obligated. So these other projects, specifically in precinct 3, are coming through pretty quickly. You'll see those two that are highlighted in blue. Those have already been awarded by FEMA. I've got another project, 703, that's going to be awarded quickly, I believe. And then we're working all the precinct 2 projects. So I think they're all going to follow. They don't make you.
I was gonna ask precinct 2, they must not like Commissioner Head, nothing
Well, I
like
don't know what he
Cody.
said to that guy.
I'm the step jaw.
But no, it's just the way it fell. I think they were working the projects. They just kind of started in places that moved on. But again, so that's what we've got going on right now. And again, if you'll recall, there's kind of 3 terms that we need to keep in our mind. When FEMA awards the money, it's basically saying, yes, we're in agreement with you. Here's the money that we provide for you. That point moves to an obligated step process where FEMA is obligating the money now. And then the last step is when the state receives the money, it's now funded. And at that point in time, that money resides on the state side, and you guys can then go back and start doing your work, seeking reimbursement, and so forth and so on. So, but hopefully, yeah, I hope to see a lot of these things awarded, obligated, and funded in short manner. So, any questions on that?
Yeah, I got questions. So mine are under obligated funds and open, but it also says on that 706 one and 868, it says work completed.
So 706 and
And I've mentioned it several times. I even mentioned it last week to Summer. Those aren't completed. They haven't even been done.
So on that one right there, Commissioner, something that's been submitted on 706. Something, the funds have been obligated. We received those funds at the state level. They have those funds. Something in there has been closed, some work activity, something has been submitted. And they're indicating on the state side that it's been closed out. I'll research it and find out, but that's typically what that's trying to state. Something was closed.
Well, you asked me back in October and then Summer asked me again last week, and those I haven't even done anything. Y'all told me to hold off, so nothing's been even done on those.
So I don't know if Summer's listening or not, but I'll make it up when I walk away. So the young lady that's our representative at Congress, we'll get a hold of her and have her even place that for us. We basically look at the worksheets that they produce on their online. We go and we look and match everything up, and we just basically replicate what they have. So we'll need to flip that one. And then 868, you're saying that's for
That's the same thing. I haven't done anything on that project.
yeah. So
That one just come back from our engineers making a report on it. So I don't, we were
is
waiting
that
on
for
that.
the mitigation?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
And
the
so,
mitigation is a separate process. This
no,
right here.
but we hadn't done anything because we was waiting on mitigation. So
Yeah.
nothing's been done.
Yeah, and it shows open right now, so that one is showing it's obligated funds of $4,000, and it's an open status, meaning nothing has been done or moved.
Okay, okay.
But I will definitely find out,
And then the low water crossings, only one of them has been done. I haven't done the others. So
Yeah, it shows still open too, so.
I understand, but it says work completed. So I didn't.
Yeah, I think
It says open and work completed, which is kind of what your optimistic, pessimistic statement is. So,
So, yeah, on the obligated, on the ones in green, I'm not too concerned about those. Those will flush out as you guys do the work and those things are complete. I'm not too worried about those. Right now, my main concern are in the top group up there.
so Robert is your concern.
Yeah, Robert's concerned too. So that's where we're at. Just wanted to kind of bring you guys up to stuff on that. We've had a few changes in the way that we had to move these projects forward. So I'm encouraged.
Well, I know there's some changes possibly in the Texas FEMA leadership, so we'll see if that helps.
Yeah, it's already open.
Well, good. Hey, commissioners, any other questions, Mr. Shaw?
The next item I had on the worksheet was we had to go in and apply for time extensions. You may have heard us talk about this. So we've asked for an extension of 1 year. We asked, so that would go to October 31st, 2026. And unfortunately, but it's going to take you guys more than a year to finish these projects. So every year we'll have to extend a little bit further. So we put in for those extensions. Those are currently in the works. I think we've asked or answered all the questions that they had for us. And I'll let you know when those were finalized. The other item we wanted to talk about real quick is the engineering report from Jacob and Martin on all of the 406 mitigation work that you guys recently participated in. So basically, we had around 15 sites off the top of my head in the 4 precincts. Everybody, Commissioner Barton is still looking at a few of his sites for some clarification.
They're done. If we can meet or get with them sometime, I've got them looked at.
Okay. I'll give it to you later on. We'll leave them on the line. And so as soon as we resolve Commissioner Barton's items, we will submit this Commissioner's report to the Texas Department of Emergency Management, their recovery office. I have already provided it to the FEMA PDMG so that they're aware that we've already completed that step. They were kind of waiting on us to get this documentation to them. Hopefully, after looking through the sites and the work that's going to be done, I think most of the work you guys requested is kind of in a green yellow area as far as maybe being approved for mitigation work. We're not asking for a lot. We're just trying to solve problems out there. They look realistic. Again, until they've actually gone through and reviewed these costs, we'll know more. But right now, I feel pretty good about some of them off the top of my head. And just to kind of close the numbers on that, currently, the total construction cost that we've submitted for 406 mitigation came in at about $2.6 million. In addition, there's the non-construction costs that came in roughly about $515,000 for total mitigation work at $3.1 million. So again, once we can get that information from you, Commissioner Parton, we're going to push this thing on and let those guys start to work on it. And we'll see what happens on that issue. And then the last thing I think I would recommend is maybe a workshop, Judge.
Sure.
To get the commissioners together with the county treasurer and come up with a procurement policy for FEMA specifically. We have to have a procurement policy that meets the FEMA requirements. We've talked about it before, but I think now as we're starting to see the funds start to roll in and you guys are getting closer to being able to start doing some of your work, we need to get that policy in front of the court.
Are you talking about doing a workshop first and then on
However you like to do
commissioner's
that.
court meeting, whatever everybody wants to do? We can't take action as doing a workshop. We can discuss.
And maybe that's a good idea because we're gonna ask some of the FEMA recovery people to come in and that way you guys have specific questions about the whys and the hows of, my bailiwick. But we could do that and answer questions and maybe come up, but we have two examples of a policy to show you. And you guys could, kind of talk.
Okay. Commissioners workshop, any days better for y'all next week?
When were we gonna have the other workshop?
Well,
Right after that.
there's no rush on this, Judge.
Okay.
We have.
Got time,
just
okay.
wanted to Get it on the radar.
Okay, well, just call us when you're ready for a workshop. How about that?
Okay, I'm going to think. Calm down.
More meetings. That's what we like, meetings and more meetings. All right. Any other questions? David, thanks, bud. Have a good day. Number 9, consider act on bids for salvage items, precinct 2, Commissioner Head, go ahead.
There wasn't any, so I'm taking it to the scrapyard.
Okay, no bids were accepted or submitted, so you're gonna be taken to the scrapyard, correct? All right, any questions on that?
No.
So no action taken on it? Okay. Number 10, consider act on final plat for Hoof and Horn subdivision, Mr. Marcus Ujala, come on up here, Mr. Marcus. How are you today?
I don't have any paperwork on
I
that.
don't know.
Well, there's nothing to be discussed, we're not doing anything. I'll tell you. Marcus, come on up here.
Says consider an act.
What?
Says consider an act.
Well, they didn't get all the paperwork here.
Okay.
Marcus, good morning. So we had a discussion Wednesday, and I talked to Don King, then called you about a conference call, you, me, and Bill Malone, and you're arguing with me, said y'all had everything to them, and Bill Malone said it does not. He did not have it, he's not approved it.
Bill.
And, Bill Malone, Don King, sorry, Don King. There's still issues there. He didn't get the final stuff in until Friday afternoon. For those up-to-date maps and everything.
No, he had all the documents well before, Mr. King says he doesn't get.
Well, he got some, but they weren't correct.
Send him the FedEx receipt and then he found them.
Well, you just sent some to him Friday, and he sent a email and the stuff sent to him Friday. And Mr. Malone and I just talked to him this morning, early this morning. He's still working on it. And I told you, when Wednesday we talked, I told you, you need to talk to Don or your surveyors or engineers and talk to them. And y'all never talked to
And
him.
he said that everything was satisfied.
Well, he's told us a different story. Mr. Malone, anything you want to chime in with?
No, my thing this morning said it was not ready, I agree.
Yeah,
And also, I might add, Marcus, I want to work with you, as you well know, but I had sent you the language for the certification.
Yes, sir.
And I've never received any response to that to make sure that.
that certificate, yeah, we're still working on that certificate.
We're agreeable to everything, the original language that you had sent, and then we commented, and you're like, well, I don't like that, so then we retracted that, so we're okay with that, and then everything that you added about this, I think the county, something about hearing water, yes, sir. We've added that.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
I never heard back, so I wasn't rude that you had it.
You still need to have them reach out to County Attorney, Mr. Malone, whoever your representative is, who you've been talking to, just Marcus or someone else there?
Marcus and I have had,
Yeah.
just conversation.
So any questions, again, I stress, y'all talk to Bill, Don King, and Bill too, on this certificate and everything. And then when Don King says everything ready, we'll come back and look at this, okay?
So
I would like to say I've been out of the loop on this for the last couple of weeks. I don't know what's going on. I think the commissioner should very muchly be a part of it. I'm the one gonna have to deal with the road stuff,
Well,
so,
we didn't have anything, again, Wednesday we found maybe some issues, so,
okay.
we'll sure keep you in the loop, yeah.
Y'all said you met this morning.
Well, we met this morning, just, talked to Don again. I talked to him Sunday afternoon, also, and I talked to him, Wednesday. But,
I think that, whether it's me or whoever.
yeah, sure, I agree.
And that precinct should very much be in the, know what's going on. Not this county judge and the county attorney.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
So what are we waiting on so that I know? I'm just confused. I thought that when Don was here last time, he only needed a couple more things.
He's got new maps that came in Friday, and he says going through all those maps, there's 15 copies to review. And review those copies takes a good while, correct,
Okay.
Bill?
Okay, so new that map reviews. Okay.
Yep. That came in Friday afternoon.
I believe he had them on Tuesday. They were delivered to him on Tuesday.
Well,
Tuesday to Friday is still not a lot of time.
for all the workers, 213
Yeah,
tracks.
I think there were, and just to note, our surveyor is, Bowman, which is a national company. They're under the impression that whatever Mr. King's comments are not required, per the state, like the board, I guess, but we still did it anyways. Made all the corrections and sent it back to him. So I stand here today, I guess suggesting that we've done everything. We've satisfied all the state requirements according to I guess the surveying state board. Mr. King is asking for things that aren't, again, we've done them all, but he's just repeatedly, every time we send something in, it's something new with them.
When I talked to you Wednesday, and after we talked to Don King, Bill Malone was listening in with us, and I said, y'all need to reach out to him because there's issues with the county certificate, revision, data for the easements, and parts and lots. That's what he told me. And I also conveyed that to you, and you never contacted him.
Yes, sir, our surveyor did contact him and had a conversation. And, I stand here to tell you that I believe we've done everything. And, I'm not sure exactly what still is on.
So what's on the checklist? In there a checklist?
Yeah.
Well, and again, Mark, we won't approve this, but
You don't have any-
I, in Commissioner's Court, till Don King says everything is ready to go. We're listening to what Don King says, who's done this a long time. So, that's where we're at. Once he says it's A-OK, but he said there's still some issues, which we've discussed.
Yes, sir.
Right.
And I had another question about you had sent an email to me about fees for Mr. King. I believe is it normally the preliminary plat and the final plat fee, isn't that to offset any third party?
Well, what, Bill, the first or second or third page on their subdivision rules?
Yes, now, we have to go back one revision on the subdivision, rules. But if I recall correctly, the appendix B, I believe, is the same for each of them. And there's a requirement to pay, that the developer pay the fee, fees that the county has incurred. I didn't bring a copy of it to read the exact language. But if I understand that correctly, those fees would need to be reimbursed to the county.
Yeah.
Because I believe
when you consider the number of properties that we have, our final plat, fee is somewhere around 11,000, just a little north of 11. And I think our preliminary was fairly close to that as well. And then I believe he sent me an email, that his fees are somewhere around 12,000.
Right now, he's still got some more that he's working on right now. So,
If, I could offer a suggestion, why don't we try to find out from Don in writing, maybe via email?
That's what I was just
Yeah,
gonna say.
yeah. And just, Don, can you list for us what is?
Well, there's that checklist that's in there.
There is a checklist.
And so he could, if he could report that checklist, you would know.
Yeah, but I'm assuming that only a few of those items are still lacking in some way or other, so I think that.
But that checklist does not just pertain to survey.
Right.
That checklist is for the court to do. Don King checks off on the surveying part.
Right,
He does not do the whole checklist.
right.
So who does the checklist? You do, right?
No, the county court.
County court does the checklist. Okay.
But
So do you have
I forgot the subdivision rules.
do you have the checklist though?
Not
If it's
with me
coming from
right
the
now.
court? Yeah, okay,
It's
okay.
The
Attached to
subdivision rules. Come by my office after yours.
I got it. I just didn't know if you'd already filled one out.
Well, but there's also been two revisions that shouldn't revise the checklist, but it might have.
Yeah.
Is it, if there is a reimbursement, for Mr. King, is there a way to get like an itemized, like a
Breakdown, everything.
yeah, like this is how many hours, this is how much I charge an hour?
I think so. Now, I think he's actually cut the fee from what I understood in our discussion. But, just to go back, because there seems to be a disconnect between Don King and the developer. My thought has been if we can get an email from Don on the survey part of it, whatever Don is saying is lacking, then we can present that to Marcus, and then we could have a better grasp of what is or maybe is not lacking.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a communication
It could be-
problem.
could be.
But that's on that part.
Yes. Just for the-
There's also the issues on my part of in the final plat. It says that the entrances and the culverts will be in place.
Right. Yeah.
And they're not.
And we can pull all that out and go through it and, highlight it or check it off, or circle whatever we need to do. The county is trying to work with you, but I think from the developer's perspective, it hasn't really, always gone really well. Not trying to fault you, but we want to emphasize, we'd like to work with you, I guess.
Yeah. And like that, as soon as Don says it's done, I'm for making a motion to approve it, Marcus, so.
Sure, I guess, when Mr. Dale said, and, I guess some of you guys have, mentioned, is it possible to get a list from Mr. King, like a list of anything that he needs, and then we could forward it, and copy you guys so that we're all on the same page as far as
Sure.
getting it done, sure, for his part?
Yeah. But again, he just got these last ones in Friday. So there's more changes that are still sent to him by the engineering company or surveying company. So.
Yeah, and it rained Thursday and Friday, so there's no way he could go out and physically check them.
Yeah.
Probably, or
Well,
did.
I don't think they do.
You think he does it all in the office?
office?
Okay.
Well, there was, he mentioned, there's drainage easements that run through the property. And, he mentioned that he wanted them on site, marked, and in my 20 years of development, I've never had to mark a flood or, a drainage easement on site. And so, but he wanted that, and, we went and did it. I'm almost certain it's not required by the state. But he wanted it, and that was part of the field work that was done. But we went out there and marked everything, I think to his satisfaction, but maybe there's something about, I don't know, coordinates or something, but if we can get some sort of response,
Okay.
formal, and then it's always just taking a few minutes to get it. That, and Mr. Malone, about what you said, I mean, I want nothing more than this to be a positive, you know, for the community and stuff, so I want to do it the right way as well.
I think the project from the start, cause it started out at what, 169 lots originally, then it got revised, and all that stuff's taking a lot of time. Probably gonna take some more. Because I think by the subdivision regulations, it says that your entrances and your road drainage will be in place for the final plat. And that means not the whole deal, but y'all's accessibility of roads, talking about y'all's main roads will be put in place.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
I was just, I feel like it's all in place. I mean, the fence is not, it's not been breached for a gate, but I mean, everything is there. It's just a pile of rock to shape it and, you know, add on to it, but everything.
and
is-
put your culverts in and put your gates in. Right now, you couldn't sell a piece of property if you wanted to unless you go in your main gates up there. There's no access to the lots.
But y'all still sent, the engineering company, whoever still sent something to him on Friday, and he just hadn't had time to go through it. I mean, it's 15 pages, I think, is what he said, right, Bill? 15 pages. So there's still some revisions that just he got Friday after. So anyway, we will visit Mr. King and see if we can get this on the next one, okay?
I make a
See.
motion that we table this for the
Yes.
final plat for Hoof and Horns.
Motion been made by Commissioner Williams. I will second that. All those in favor of tabling the Hoop and the Horns, for another day, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Marcus will be in communication, okay? Commissioners' requests and reports. So Commissioner Sullivan, will you take it away, sir?
We've been working on County Road 318, we're blading it and all the material and packing it all down, and I'm hoping that rain helps it pack a little bit more. We done some work on 317, down some hills that have been washed out, and we're trying to finish those up. Then we're moving to County Road 315, working our way around, going over to 420 for.
Okay, Commissioner Head.
We worked on, Carroll 312, filling up more ditches, and we're getting close to the end of it. And then I also had to work on some equipment, stuff like that, we had a center track loader in to have the ripper rewelded back onto it, and almost broken off. But, and then, put an entrance in, put a light for pots, and done some tree trimming and been enjoying the rain.
Yes, good rain. Commissioner Portman.
Got all of the wrap put on the roads in the pretty area. Was gonna try to do a little more, but, the way the month's running, I'll talk to Mr. Head about getting it over to him next 2 or 3 days. And then we'll try some more wrap stuff in December, January, February, March. In the town of Pretty, which is county roads that are completed now, so all the roads or streets, if you call them that, in Pretty, do have the ground wrap on them. So, looks like this week we're probably gonna get to do some shop work catch up.
Now the school just needs to do their road, that way they all look the same, right?
And I don't care.
Is that it?
Yep.
Commissioner Williams?
We've been topping a lot of different places, ledge rocks mainly, and doing, 408, 406, 402, 418, 414, and then 432. 4:32, we did it right before the rain comes, so we might have got pretty slossy. I hadn't been out there, guys went to check it today. We worked on the Mack truck one day last week. I called Robert and Dale looking for a expandable flex
Like five.
pipe for the exhaust. That one had busted under the Mack truck, so we replaced that. Wasn't that hard, it just had to find the flex pipe, they didn't have it. Had to go to the central truck and trailer. Only other thing I have is, got any word on our shredder?
Yeah. We went to Waco today and picked up a part, but they said the shipping would be between 80 and 100, and I told them to ship it. I don't feel like we can drive to Waco and back.
So they're bringing it today, and then how long do you think it'll be? Next week, maybe?
I don't, it shouldn't take long to put it on. But it's supposed to be here, it's supposed to be in Waco today.
That's all
And
I
that will
have.
be a complete gearbox.
Okay.
I
That's
don't
all.
understand. I do have one other thing, if you want me to get that out of the way. Our bridge on 508, they do have the concrete at the bottom, they have all of their, I don't know what you call them, channel uprights that are gonna be 6x6 up. The only thing they really like, which is major, is the concrete cap. And whatever they have to do, so. If anybody wants to see it, I got pictures up to this point. but
Yeah,
it's-
and they said they weren't gonna wait, they were gonna wait till after
There,
Thanksgiving
yeah.
before they did that
Okay.
other part. Yeah.
Evidently, the concrete top's pretty major, so go ahead.
Okay, is that it?
Yeah.
Number 12, county judge report is good rain and happy Thanksgiving. Courthouse will be closed later this week, and I'll make a motion to adjourn. All in favor of adjourning, say aye. Meeting adjourned. Everybody, thank you for coming.